All right, we are live in the overflow room.
Right.
Hey,
The
everybody.
Quantica overflow room.
The Kwanzaa Holiday Overflow Room. Welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast After Hours, episode 517.5. Tonight I am here with Alex Schlegel, Conspiracy Christmas,
Good to see you guys.
and James Babb, Sylvania Based.
Great to be back for perhaps our final transmission of the year.
Yeah. Yet we probably will not be on again before the new year, so I guess we'll just wish everybody out there a happy new year, and maybe we can go over some of our do a year in review.
Year in rebuke. I don't know.
Rebuke. I mean, let's see, like, what happened this year?
What were some of the best memes of the year? Maybe we should
Yeah.
start there. You know, like this probably we really should have researched this in advance. It
We
would
should
have
have
made great
prepped.
content. But
Although this isn't audio, this is mostly an
Yeah.
audio show, so I don't know how well that would translate.
Merry Christmas, Scott.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, Scott. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy Hanukkah.
I mean, if
Yeah.
I look back on the year, I'm going to say the Hawk Tuah girl was probably the best thing of the year. Like,
What an arc.
Yeah.
What a character arc that was, man.
yeah,
I mean, she started off, it was just like a random TikTok video interviewing some girl on the streets of Nashville. She said some cute little funny thing and then just blew the fuck up. Next thing you know, she's like trying to free Ross. She's at the Bitcoin conference.
She is freeing Ross. If things go as planned, like remember, it was her posing with the free Ross sign the petition sign that really tipped fate in Ross's favor. Like it was only after that Trump come out like hard for Ross. I think her star power just put it over the edge.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then the big rug pull came.
And
later.
then the rug pull. Then she scammed everybody.
Yeah.
She created a shitcoin and scammed everybody out of millions of their life savings, and
Now, do you think that's really her?
the arc is complete. I mean, I gotta think she's not that bright. You know, I haven't heard too much of her Talk to a show, so but she kind of comes off as, just kind of a ditzy blonde chick. So I'm thinking some, predator, shitcoiner, scam artist got a hold of her and said, "Hey, we could really, we can make some money. We can help out your fans. Like, let's do a shitcoin." But I don't know. I don't know enough about it to give her the benefit of the doubt. But if I had to guess, that's probably what happened.
Let me see if I can do a screen share real quick. Let's see if I can make this work.
Yeah, that had to be definitely
Can you see that?
let's see. Oh yeah, the here we go.
There she is. This,
Yeah.
when Ross is out, we're going to look back at this moment in history and say that was it. That's when it happened. That was the turning of the tide. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry that she got involved in a shitcoin, but
I mean, it's kind of your own fault.
Yeah,
It's kind of your own fault. If you
if you lost money in the Hawk Tuah coin, like really, I'm supposed to.
Yeah, I feel like this
feel
is
bad
just
for you?
natural selection, right? I mean, this is just.
I mean, as savvy investors go with Fartcoin. Everybody like that was a much better play, right?
Dogecoin?
You guys know about Fartcoin, right? I think it has like $1 billion market cap. Last I heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm in.
Let's see. Fartcoin. Fartcoin to USD chart. Currently at 95 cents. The market
It's up
cap.
2%.
Yeah.
It's up 2% today when Bitcoin's down like 3.5%.
Man, we're in the wrong coin.
Year to date on Fartcoin is 1,491%.
Market cap is 955 million. Damn, dude.
That's like more than all the silver mining stocks. You know, like it's big.
Yeah, I'm gonna start just blasting this all over Peter Schiff's Twitter. It's like, how's gold money doing compared to Fartcoin now? Fartcoin's up. What is Fartcoin up on the year? I mean, this is
Year to date, 1,491%. I'm seeing on Coin Market Cap. Yeah, is that what it shows on there?
yeah. I'm trying to. Where do they show the percentage? But anyways, yeah.
It's in there somewhere. The if you express it in Bitcoin, it's still up 630% year to date.
Compared
So,
to Bitcoin.
yeah,
So we're a bunch of retards for holding
for
Bitcoin
being-
instead
yeah.
of
Oh, you
Fartcoin.
gotta. You're right. You're some kind of dinosaur if you're in Bitcoin instead of Fartcoin.
Yeah, I really feel like we missed the boat. We could have just been putting all of our podcast money into Fartcoin.
Can we check and see on Hawk2a coin? Sometimes they have like a second like
Revival?
revival. Yeah, like Dogecoin's been all over the place, right?
Which one is it? There's like 3 of them.
Oh, there's imitation Hawk2a coins.
They're all called Hawk.
Imagine getting the counterfeit Hawk2a coin, but like what a jerk you'd be.
Let's say this one is it. Right now, market cap's only 5 million. Let's see, year to date,
What is that?
down considerably there. Not great. Not looking great for the Hawk2a coin.
What is the index load letter for that? The code.
Hawk. HWK. HAWK.
HAWK.
It might come back.
I mean, this would be the time to buy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, as Warren Buffett says, buy when there's blood in the streets,
Yep.
even if it's your own.
Oh, did you see this story? Biden just signed into law that the bald eagle is the official bird of the United States. Apparently it was not that before.
What was it before? The turkey?
I don't know if we even had one.
I just don't think it ever happened. It just
I mean, we don't
Everyone
have
just
really like
assumed?
national things, right? I mean,
Everyone
we have
just
like
assumed?
state things. Yeah, I was surprised. I was shocked to see that.
I think it's something more appropriate would have been like a vulture or some kind
like
of
a-
carrion
or like a-
eating.
Yeah, or like a trash bird of some type.
But I feel like that's a disservice to any bird that gets associated. Like that. Like, what did they do? Like
Right.
they're just birds.
Yeah, they're just flying
They're
around
part of the
eating
empire.
shit.
Now the bald eagle gets a lot of imperial marketing work, but still, that doesn't mean they speak for all bald eagles.
Yeah.
I think Canada has more bald eagles than we do, anyway.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah, I
reason,
think so,
another
yeah.
reason to conquer Canada.
it's happening. It's all
Like maybe this is part of that. Like, well, now that the bald eagle is our national bird, we have a national interest in protecting it wherever it may be, and that happens to be mostly Canada.
What's the national bird of Canada, if there is one?
The cuck.
Is it the albatross? Oh, the gray jay.
I was gonna say it's the cuckoo bird.
I'm confused though, because
It's like a blue jay, but just gray. Yeah, I don't get it. I guess it just never happened that the eagle was designated the national bird. It just happened. By
there
yeah, it
any
was like
debate on the
all over.
subject?
It was all over their like propaganda.
Did the Senate vote on it, or was this just executive proclamation?
President Joe Biden signed into law legislation sent to him by Congress.
Oh, actual legislation.
Yeah. It amends
what
the
they get
United
paid the
States
big
Code
bucks
to correct what had long gone unnoticed and designate the bald eagle
you know what? And people say Congress isn't out there working for us.
Right.
But look at that. I'm sure they would have rather been home for the holidays with their families. And instead, they took their valuable time to vote on making the bald eagle the national bird.
Yeah, it's really commendable.
I think it was Ben Franklin that advocated for it being the turkey.
He did. Yep. But it never happened.
Bald eagles are pretty cool, but anyways,
They were turkeys.
turkeys are pretty cool, tasty. All right, well,
If it's illegal to shoot the national bird, how national is it?
is it illegal to shoot a bald eagle? Are they endangered?
Yeah. Apparently.
They can't. You know what? In Canada, they fly around like seagulls. Like they're everywhere. I can't believe they're endangered.
I don't think they're endangered. I think it's just.
I just think people think they're really cool, and therefore you shouldn't eat them.
Let me see. Are they endangered? I don't think they are.
Has anybody? I mean, are there even any recipes like bald eagle fritters or deep fried eagle drumsticks?
They were delisted from the Endangered Species Act in August of 2007 because their populations recovered sufficiently. Bald eagles are still protected under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act and the Bald Golden Eagle Protection Act. Okay. But hey, we're going to put wind farms all over the country, and that's going to really help migratory.
Yeah, take that, bald eagles.
Dude, when we were out in Joshua Tree, driving back to Palm Springs, dude, I saw just like gigantic windmill farms. Like really ominous looking, but it was like must have been like 1,000 fucking windmills, dude. Just
Where
like
was that?
in Joshua, like outside of Joshua Tree.
Wow,
Like
I saw when I went out west last year. I passed through some very large fields of just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it, man. It was like,
Yeah.
and they were all fucking spinning. It was bizarre. I mean, the bird impact, yeah, one thing. But the other thing is like, what the fuck else are they going to put out in the middle of the desert? So like, well, whatever. But like,
Here,
it's not habitable there.
a story. I've got a story on this topic here. I just happened to remember this.
The problem is,
This is,
none of those materials are recyclable.
Right. Yeah, that's the other
They
issue.
only last a couple years.
I mean, how much does it cost to perform maintenance on those things?
Yeah, dude, they got to go up there. They got the gear housing. It requires oil.
Yeah.
The grease. Even if they don't have enough wind, they still have to spin. So they use the power that's created. It's just, I don't know. I just don't see it as. It's definitely not green.
It's an environmental nightmare. And as somebody that I like wildlife, I want it to survive. And windmills are definitely a way to destroy wildlife.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely, and it just has like a sort of ominous.
It ruins the landscape.
Yeah, it's ugly. It's ominous. It looks like something from like The Road or something, like post-apocalyptic almost.
Yeah.
They're just like sitting there. I mean, I like looking out into like a barren desert. Like I think that's cool. You get like the big sky, but instead of the big sky, you get like a bunch of fucking, especially at night, because like they have like lights on them and they're just kind of like blinking and shit, and they're just like.
I remember driving out to Reno for the LP convention, and you're driving through bumblefuck Nebraska or Wyoming or somewhere where we were, Missouri, out there, and it's just fields of like just miles of just seeing lights and lights and lights just across the landscape, and it's all these big giant wind farms.
And that's basically just tons of fiberglass that's going to have to get buried or like will never decompose, can't be recycled currently.
But I'm sure they're being subsidized by somebody, right?
Well, exactly, and that's part of I think what makes it so terrible. It's like you can't even look at it and say, well, it's a free market. What are you going to do? No, it's not a free market, and it's completely, like the economic argument would never let that happen. right?
Right.
It's only through these kind of interventions and bullshit subsidies that these monstrosities exist.
Yeah, very sad. I mean, they're trying to put them off the coast of Ocean City, Maryland. And
Just
I
to
just
spite the seagulls, like
Right.
just to get them. Like
Yeah, fuck that, dude. Well, whatever. Fuck Ocean City, Maryland, anyways.
Project Fuck the Seagulls, Ocean City. Like
yeah,
yeah, that's insane, dude. But then they talk about nuclear, like, oh, well, nuclear is so bad. It's like, it's only bad if there's like a fucking massive nuclear disaster, but otherwise, it's way less damaging to the environment than this kind of shit.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're building a nuclear plant, you don't have to put it like on the ring of fire in the ocean in
Yeah.
an earthquake-prone zone.
Yeah,
Like that you can't get to in an emergency. Like
yeah, you could put it in the
pollute
middle of
whole
like,
ocean if you get it wrong.
yeah, like put it in the middle of like North Dakota or something.
here's the article you shared. So this is NPR, National Propaganda Radio. A wind energy company has pleaded guilty after killing at least 150 eagles. Billings, Montana wind energy company was sentenced to probation and ordered to pay more than $8 million in fines and restitution after at least 150 eagles were killed over the past decade at its wind farm in 8 states. Federal prosecutor said Wednesday. This is just recent.
Like what they
Let's see.
admitted to, right?
April 6th. This is from 2022, but still.
If they admitted to that, then it's got to be right. That's just one example of 100 times that. Who knows? The other companies.
Next
just one
Era
company.
Energy is a subsidiary of ESI Energy, pleaded guilty to 3 counts of violating the Migratory Bird Treaty Act during a Tuesday court appearance in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
I'm not saying I agree with that stupid bird treaty. That sounds pretty dumb in itself. Like, what?
In addition to these deaths, golden and bald eagles were killed at wind farms affiliated with ESI and Next Era since 2012 in 8 states: Wyoming, California, New Mexico, North Dakota, Colorado, Michigan, and Arizona and Illinois.
Have you seen those big solar reflector generators where it's just like acres and acres of mirrors?
Those are
And
fucking
they
ugly
direct
too.
sunlight
Yeah.
up at a giant tower, and like
Mhm.
it heats white hot, and like they're so big, and the rays are all concentrated, and birds fly through these things and become like instant roast chicken. They just
Ah.
like explode into flames if they come through the beams.
Jeez. Yeah, you see. You don't see too many in this country, but I think I see videos. I've seen videos in China where you see like the mountain landscapes, and it's just these solar farms instead of trees or just green mountains or whatever the case. It's just solar panels. It's like, this is gross. What are we doing?
Yeah.
But if you have, hopefully you can have your own solar panels at home and have a place where it's not too much of an eyesore for you personally, and then have free electricity.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that in the future. Do that. Have at least solar just to either go off grid or mostly off grid.
The
But
property I'm trying to work on in Maine is it's going to be off grid
nice.
electric, because I got a quote to bring in like poles or underground cable, and it's just to dig a trench would be like 175,000.
Jeez, how long would you have to?
It's less than a mile, but
That's
it's
that
really
expensive.
expensive to do that kind of.
To do underground, and then like, I guess if you do it,
And even doing poles, it would be also highly intrusive, because you need to have like setback from the road, and you can't have any trees near them. So I'd have to massacre a huge amount of trees just to put
Yeah.
poles through and have a big eyesore. So I'm just going to say, like, you know what, for a fraction of that cost, I can have a kick-ass, complete off-grid battery, solar generator, nuclear pile, something,
reactor, nuclear reactor.
Got a bio reactor, like burn garbage. Who knows what it could be.
Could have a
Yeah.
trash wheel out on the water.
But at least there'll be no electric bill, and
Yeah.
I could charge the Cybertruck.
Do you have running water near there?
I've got a well.
Oh, okay. No, I mean as far as like, is there streams or any?
Nothing I could do hydro with.
Okay,
Nothing
because
big like that.
that's pretty cool. I've seen that where basically someone's property along a creek or a river that's pretty free flowing, and basically just had this windmill, or not windmill, but a water mill, and just it pivoted on, like, it had a whole concrete platform, and it pivoted where it could put it out into the water and drop it down, and it basically would just generate electricity, hydroelectric, for hours, and then just pick it up out of the river, pull it back off the bank, and it's
I
pretty
think you
sweet.
can get quite a bit of power in the right situation.
I'm sure. I forget what the guy. It was just a short. I don't know, some short video I saw online, either maybe scrolling through Twitter, but I
How about
forget
this?
how
Is
much.
like,
But
become a hermit, right? But way up in the mountains somewhere. But there's a rip-in stream. Okay, like you can't. There's no power lines. There's hardly any roads. Really hard to get to. But you build a dam. You put in some kind of hydro that can run some Bitcoin mining,
there you go.
and you connect it by a satellite, and that's your off-grid like job.
Bitcoin mining, yeah, it's possible, especially if you're like along like fast moving stream or river. I'm sure it'd be possible.
Right, it's something that hardly anybody else would want because it's so inaccessible.
Sounds like a plan.
Volcano energy, dude.
Yeah.
Volcano Bitcoin mining.
Is that what they're doing in El Salvador?
Yeah, don't we have a story about El Salvador or something here?
I heard he made a deal with the IMF. So
Okay.
Bukele, known as the I call him the Bitcoin dictator. A lot of people really like this guy because he's
Well, he did like apparently turn their economy around.
and they're like dramatically reduced the amount of murders. So, but the problem is he locked up, like he has double the incarceration rate of the United States and doesn't even give people trials. So, like
exactly
if we locked
the
up,
libertarian
up
dream.
every gang member in Philly, I'll bet you murders would go down a lot too, but
Yeah.
be a little drastic.
But you might get a few innocent people in there too.
You might, yeah. But anyway, yeah. This story came out. He got some kind of deal with the IMF, and I'm like, what kind of deal is this? And I don't know. I haven't really seen the details, but when I read the press release, if you go down to this section that says "Meanwhile," it kind of outlines this deal. It says, "Bitcoin-related risks are being mitigated. Acceptance of Bitcoin by the private sector will be voluntary, and public sector's participation in Bitcoin-related activities will be confined." What does that mean, right? Like, okay, participation by the private sector will be voluntary. Well, his big claim to fame was making it legal tender, right? Is it still legal tender? Because to me, legal tender means that you can settle any debt in that currency, right? The dollar is legal tender here. If I owe you something, for whatever reason, I can pay that debt in dollars. So if it's legal tender there, can people settle their debts in Bitcoin? I don't know. Maybe somebody smarter will dig into that. But the whole idea was he was supposed to be like sticking the finger to the IMF, and he's getting $1.4 billion. The program aims to strengthen fiscal and external sustainability through implementation of an ambitious and growth-friendly fiscal consolidation plan, as well as actions to enhance reserve buffers. Basically, get control of this. So, I don't know. I can't believe people are jumping on this. Stacey Herbert.
Wait, hold on. This other thing says, meanwhile, Bitcoin-related risks are being mitigated.
How?
Acceptance of Bitcoin by the private sector will be voluntary, and public sector's participation in Bitcoin-related activities will be confined.
Confined by the IMF?
I guess, well, by this agreement, I guess. I mean, I guess it's just an agreement, right? They don't have a military.
I think it's like here's the terms of this loan.
Yeah. I guess it's the terms of the loan. If they violate it, then I guess I have to pay them back, or I don't know.
I don't know either. Stacey Herbert posted something like some kind of meme like, "Oh, look, he just borrowed he just borrowed from the IMF at 0% interest and now he's buying Bitcoin with it." Like, haha.
Is that even true?
I feel like
I remember
there's some details in there, like there's no free lunch. Like he doesn't just get a 1.4 billion in free money, right? Without some agreements, such as
confining the public sector.
your activities, right? And this whole how is this going to affect the private sector? I think they're saying it's not going to be legal tender by at least whatever definition most people would use.
Yeah, I think that's the point is making it voluntary in the private sector, which is a good thing, right?
I mean, if that's the language they use, right? But who knows what it means in reality? And yeah, of course, I don't believe in any legal tender laws at all. That's ridiculous.
Taxes will only be paid in U.S. dollars. And the government's participation in the crypto e-wallet Chivo will be gradually unwound.
Which to me was like a big scam anyway. Like a special Lightning wallet that like I guess they had to use it, but
to pay taxes or
just to use. I think that's the wallet everyone was at least strongly encouraged, or if not coerced into using. It's like a special, it's like their own Lightning wallet.
Gotcha.
And it seemed very anti-Bitcoin to me to have a government-provided wallet, right? Like,
yeah.
But Bitcoin is for everyone, even our enemies. I just wish less people in the Bitcoin community like were treated him like some kind of hero.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely don't treat him as a hero. I mean, I'd say it's good to get the word of Bitcoin out there, right? It's good to popularize Bitcoin as an idea. So in that sense, anytime it's on a big stage like that, I think is a net positive, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean that whoever's pushing it is a crypto anarchist. Right?
No. And he was doing, remember the mass trials that he was doing? I think it was like up to 700 defendants in one trial at a time. Like, I mean, that is just.
And then how long are these people? And how long are these people locked up for?
I don't know.
And what's going to happen when they're like? Are they just indefinitely detained, or
76,000 Salvadorans?
Jeez.
I mean, when I did the math, it ended up being 1 in 93 of their people is in jail.
That's crazy.
Like, and I'm going to celebrate this as some kind of a freedom haven, like. But murder rate was out of control, and they did get the murder rate down. So people are going to say, well, that's
yeah, but for how long?
Got to do it.
I mean, what happens when these people get out of jail? If
or
they
the next generation of criminals come up that aren't in jail, right?
right.
Then how do you arrest everybody all over again? Like
you're not attacking the root. It's not like, oh, these were just some bad eggs that were okay. The bad eggs are gone. We've cleansed the gene pool, and now it's all just good people. Right? Like I feel like
economic prosperity that could have a lot to do with it, and disrupting the gangs. I mean, it was a bad situation there. Nobody's denying that. And I don't, I can understand people being desperate enough to say anything's going to be better than this. Do what you have to do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and I guess you don't. I mean, to play status advocate, you don't have time to address all the root causes. The war on you can't stop the U.S. from doing the war on drugs, right? I mean, you're in El Salvador. How are you going to do that, right? So you know,
Yeah,
how do you fix the problem on your end? What's that?
Yeah, you gotta participate, you know, and well, let's hope it works out for them. But I'm not too optimistic. I mean, these people could have had trials by now. Like they're just not getting trials. It's not like, well, you know, we have to put everybody. Let's detain everybody until we can get to their trial. They're just not getting them.
Yeah. Yeah, and if there's innocent non-gang people in there, that's really unfortunate for them.
You know, and I got to believe there's a way to address that kind of a crime problem without becoming an incarceration nation. You know, there's got to be some path that, you know, that fixes that without just kidnapping everybody.
Well, you've got to incentivize people to not want to participate. Like, give them other like a free market, right? Like, a free market gives people other avenues to make money rather than participate in a gang.
Drugs are bad. Drugs
And then also, you know, removing the incentive to sell drugs by just legalizing drugs helps there too. So, I mean, yeah, you won't be able to stop the trafficking to where it's still illegal in the United States or whatever, but at least internally.
Is Trump looking at? Is he eyeing up El Salvador as well? Is Panama and Mexico?
He's just gonna take all of South America. It's just America now, baby.
He might.
Hey,
North America, South America.
Maybe nobody's asked yet, but somebody's got to be the ambassador to El Salvador. Maybe I could just slip in and get that one that nobody else wanted.
Yeah, talk to Angela. Yeah. Talk to Angela.
Yeah, maybe you could be the libertarian they were talking about.
You could be the libertarian in the cabinet.
That's not well. Ambassador's not a cabinet level position.
True.
So, but just like, you know, it's just one of these appointed positions, you know, and it's the kind of thing they'd be like, hey, can I be ambassador to El Salvador? I'd be like, sure.
Yeah.
Nobody else asked him.
I may or may not own some Bitcoin. I should be the ambassador to El Salvador.
Could sure Angela could write you a letter of recommendation. I could maybe sit you down with Trump in Mar-a-Lago.
Would you guys want to visit El Salvador, even knowing, you know, like I visit a lot of countries that have tyrannical governments. That's usually not my. Like if you only
par for the course, right?
Tyrannical, like where would you go?
Iceland, maybe. I don't.
I'm sure they're tyrannical as well, but maybe a little nicer about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it sounds like it's safer there. I don't know much about. Yeah. Just don't wind up in jail. Just don't get picked up by the cops. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what's in El Salvador that would really attract my interest out of all the
Bitcoin Beach.
What is Bitcoin Beach?
El Zonte.
Is it made out of Bitcoin?
It's like a circular Bitcoin economy community sort of destination for Bitcoiners. I've never been, but I'm kind of curious. But like one of my reasons for not going earlier was that El Salvador is kind of a shithole, I've heard.
Yeah.
But maybe they're fixing it up and it seems to be on the way, and it's on the way up. Could be opportunities there. Might be able to buy some land that Bukele has confiscated from the locals.
What's the name of the town? I'm just looking at a map right now.
El Zonte. I don't know how to
Zonte.
Or just Google like Bitcoin Beach.
Yeah. I mean, on the
El Zonte, Zonte.
It might be worth checking out.
Because at least you could hang out with Bitcoiners down there. But I don't want to have to act like I'm down with the regime, like a lot of those people are. So might just be asking for disagreements when I really would just kind of like a chill area with a beach where I can spend Bitcoin and be left alone.
Might be worth investigating. I don't know. Is the eclipse going through there too?
I don't think so. That'll be Greenland.
Yeah.
Might be worth checking out.
There's
had a
another
student-
place, Bitcoin Jungle in Costa Rica, which is supposed to be a place where there's all these hotels and all these restaurants and all these different businesses. Like somebody went around and signed everybody up.
Yeah.
And then I'm afraid you get there and they're like, oh, yeah, we used to. Yeah, that didn't work out, like, but maybe I'm wrong. I think I'd much rather go to Costa Rica than El Salvador.
Yeah, Costa Rica's definitely on my places to visit.
Have you been before?
No. That's why it's on my places to visit.
To visit again.
Again. No, my visit again is a different list. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a dream of a place. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah, I really like the jungle.
And the food is good. The jungle's awesome. They got volcanoes, beaches.
Yeah.
Sweet. And now there's like GPS. First time I went there was like pre-GPS.
Oh, damn.
Their roads don't have like street names.
Oh,
Like
wow.
you get a map and it was basically just kind of like lines.
Yeah.
and navigating was like kind of like like with just okay, I think this is east, like some real sketchy stuff. Like but now with like Google Maps and stuff, you should be able to rip all over the country, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely like to check out Costa Rica for sure.
Arenal volcano.
Mexico. There's some really cool spots in Mexico I've heard about that I'd like to check out. Just like quiet beach towns.
How about Baja?
Baja, like Baja, California.
Well, it's
Mexico?
south of California, like the California Peninsula.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You just keep going down. It goes way down there, and there.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's
Long
called
trip.
Baja, California, right? That's like the full name of it. If you look at a map.
You could like a lot of people like take their campers down there, camp on the beach, do some off-roading.
Yeah.
I hear it's not quite the same as the like other mainland part of Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard like the West Coast over there is like, yeah, a little chiller. Although Tijuana I hear is pretty crazy, but it's like right across the border.
I wonder if it's still. Do you think it delivers on its reputation?
Who knows, man? I don't know. I know people that have gone over there. They say it's pretty cool. It's like right across. It's like a mile away from like San Diego, right?
Right. I've been expecting it to be just like a big tourist trap.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think you can do some things there that are not legal in California.
I went to Tijuana once, like years ago. It
Yeah.
was, oh geez, I was probably a senior. I was a senior in high school, so we're going back to about 1999, 2000. I want to say
Yeah.
no, it was 1999, and went out to Arizona to visit my aunt and uncle, and they were living out there at the time, and we were supposed to go hiking in the Grand Canyon, but it was like over Easter break, and I want to say it was mid-March, and they got this huge snowstorm in Flagstaff. And as soon as we landed, we went out to eat in Phoenix. And even in Phoenix, it was barely 60 degrees. It was overcast and cloudy. And we're like, what the hell? We thought it'd be, bright and sunny and gorgeous out here.
Yeah.
But they had like some storm come through. And up in Flagstaff, they got about 2 feet of snow. And like all the roads were shut down.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we had to. Oh, Babs, I think you were muted there. But yeah, we had to change plans, and we kind of got out of the storm, out of the weather pattern, and went to San Diego, and we were just kind of bumming around San Diego for like 2 days. And the one night we drove down to Tijuana in my like uncle's Volkswagen at the time, and we came back like I guess you could easily cross the border back. I guess you can nowadays too, but we went out to. It was like an equivalent of like a 5-star restaurant, but I mean, they wouldn't even allow us to sit in a dining room because we were kind of like pretty casual. So like, oh, you got to sit in the bar room. They had like whole valet parking, and valet parked us and like pulled out like it was pretty. It was excellent. It was like gourmet Mexican food. It was amazing. It was like only came to about maybe 200 pesos, but I guess in it was probably about equivalent to like $1,000 some meal in pesos. But yeah, but it was wild though, man. Like crossing the border. I mean, you just see all like, I don't know.
I mean, is everybody drinking tequila? Like,
I mean, from what vaguely I remember, I mean, you just have a lot of people selling things. There was a lot of like people trying to cross the border. There was a lot of poverty. I'm sure you could go do like all the debauchery and, I'm sure red light districts and donkey shows and all that crazy shit. I'm sure it was available at the time, but obviously on a family vacation with my aunt and uncle and my sister.
No donkey shows on the family vacation.
Yeah.
The family getaway.
Yeah.
do they do, what is that at like the community library or?
Yeah.
So
After the drag show story hour.
Yeah. But that was my extent. That was the only time I've ever been in Mexico, and it was like literally just to go out to eat. And so, but that'd be a cool place to check out. I have a student that just graduated. He's in Costa Rica, and he mentioned like, yeah, if you ever want to come, Mr. Alex, like, come and visit. So I'd be down. But you guys want to hit on any other topics before we get out of here? Topics? I don't know. I don't think we have much else to.
I think we're cooked.
I think we covered it all this week.
Dude, it's the end of 2024. Is that which century is this? 2024. It's not 1994.
Yeah, damn. 2025.
Yep.
So I guess we have a New Year's show next week.
Yeah, we can do one after New Year's, right? New Year's is on like Wednesday, right?
Wednesday night, yeah.
Right.
You guys
So
do
be the
any
second.
plans?
So we could do a New Year's Day podcast episode.
Live from the Mummers Parade.
Do you go to those, Babs?
Well, hell no.
Hell no. Hell nah.
I've never
I think
been.
I have been, but it's just way too cold.
Oh no, wait. New Year's Day is Wednesday, so yeah, we'll have a
proper
day after
pod-
New Year's pod.
podcast one. Do you do anything New Year's Eve? Any
January
plans?
6th this year.
What's that, Babs?
When is January 6th coming up this year?
Monday.
Ooh,
Monday.
my favorite holiday.
But is it? Wait, like when does he get sworn in?
The 20th.
So what was that? What happened on? Why was that a thing on January 6th before? Was that just? I thought there was the Senate had to do something or something.
I think it was certify the election.
Yeah.
And then I guess that coincided with the Trump rally, and
I guess nobody expects
Stop
that
the
to be a
steal.
thing, right? This year.
no, I mean, who
You
knows?
don't think
I mean,
there's like some blue sky, like blue sky users that are organizing to
dude,
storm
they
the
might
Capitol?
be. They might
should.
be.
Oh God, please do that. That'd be so cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
January
man.
6th is when they count the electoral votes. So, and that was.
I feel like we have to be in a position to celebrate Trump signing Ross's release on day one, or turning into some kind of a lynch mob. Like he's either going to do it or he's not. But either way, I feel like we should be there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
all the things to do in the new year.
yep. We're gonna maybe a New Year's resolution for us can just be do more live events next year.
I think we should. We're developing our mobile gear, setup.
Yeah, I think we need to get maybe some PA speakers.
Live on January 6th. That's
Yeah, I mean maybe we can go mobile to the inauguration. We've got the camera. Last time I just like took the camcorder that we have. We've got that H2.
Yeah, we could just do some man on the streets
Man on the
interviews.
street.
Could we
Fun.
come up with a mobile rig to do that?
I just outlined the mobile rig.
Okay, so just a video camera, but what about like a microphone or
Yeah, the H2.
mixer? Okay,
I mean, I'm not going to run around DC with a mixer. But the H2 could actually like plug into the camera too, so it can function as a microphone for the camera that's portable.
can you put more than one mic input into it?
I think it's two-sided. So if you get close enough, you know what I mean? Like if you were interviewing,
Yeah.
doing man on the street stuff, it'd be good for it.
Yeah, you would just like man on the street. You hold your microphone here, then you put it up to there. But that's how you do man on the
Got it.
street.
It might, yeah, it should work out all right.
Cool.
So
I'd be down.
we'll-
I mean,
we'll have a board meeting.
yeah, a board meeting on the next after hours.
Yeah, but my instinct just is always like, do not go to DC, especially when other people are going there. Like, it's just
it's going to be a madhouse.
it's just too close to the imperial eye of the hurricane. You know, like
It's going to be a whole bunch of magatards down there too.
it's going to be all flavor of just statists and I don't know. Maybe Kyle would like to go.
Goofies. Yeah, we should go.
All right,
Jared,
we'll
Jared,
think about it.
I'd be down. I'd be down. Maybe Kyle
think
want to
about
tag
it.
along. I wouldn't mind.
I'll be off that day too.
Yeah,
It's MLK Day.
the 20th. Yeah, I think I'm off, or I could take off. So yeah, that'd be fun.
They're inaugurating Trump on MLK Day.
Oh geez,
The travesty.
right. The 20th. That's a Friday. Yeah, no, it's
a
not
Monday.
Friday. It's a Monday. Monday. Yeah, I could take off that day. We'll figure it out.
I just hope
We'll
everyone
see.
has a good time.
Yeah.
But
All right.
let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. All right. Well, thanks everybody for being patrons and listening to us ramble about shit for the last half hour, 45 minutes.
Happy Quantica.
And a happy Quantica, happy New Year, and we'll see you. We'll see you next year. Yeah.
Dad jokes.
Till next time. Live free.
Or die.